you tell your friends about? I'm the crazy ex-girl you pretend you don't know, 'cause you know I could ruin your life. Rumor has it you have someone new. She'll regret you like a bad tattoo, 'cause you'll never change, you'll always stay the same. Go on and tell all your friends all about me. I don't give a nothing sticks to me, baby. Yes, hon, I'm Teflon, I don't give an F, so go ahead and tell them I'm a little bit too much for you. Baby, you're not man enough.
Good morning. What a morning it's been. All right, we are gonna start this class out with just like some real talk for the women of the world. I hope you can hear me all good. Looks like you can. I'm not dressed in a Halloween costume, and it's the day before Halloween. I also still have an ear pod in. Oops, oopsie. That's what happens. So let me put that thing on. This is like the day to end all days, right? Listen, if you're here, you know we're on an imperfect journey. Let me demonstrate imperfection for you. Once we get moving, we're always good, right? But it's just the pathway to get there. So what I want to say to you is like, I wanted to dress up. I was excited to dress up. And like life got a lot between a deadline that I had and kid stuff and life and all of the things. I just decided to take the dressing up off the table for myself today. And I want to tell you, like, it's okay to not do all the things. No one's keeping score. If it's gonna rob joy from your life, then it's okay to remove it. If it's gonna add joy, then like remove something else and get the joy in. So I did think about it. I am gonna dress up on Halloween tomorrow, but I'm just not gonna do it today. That doesn't mean that we're not gonna have a great class, because we are. And I hope that's okay with all of you. If you are dressed up, please let me know what you're dressed up as. In theory, we could imagine that I'm dressed up as like a giraffe. How about that? It's a great costume. There's spots, there's legs, there's a neck. It's amazing. It's just like, I put so much time and effort to see. We just gotta flip the switch on the matrix, and then all of a sudden, everything's fine. All right, we're here for happy hips. I want you to stand with your legs nice and wide. We're here for just about 35 minutes. We're gonna bend our knees. Let's start happy shoulders, just to get that tension out. I knocked that poor baby over, but it's standing up really nicely. There was a ton of traffic on the way in today. It's just like one of those things where I got everything set up pretty well, but there are some, snafus that happen. Let's reverse our shoulder rolls back to front. So in this class, we're gonna go through a lot of mobility exercises. We're gonna do some stretches. I think it's gonna be really great. I really do. Let's do 2 more. And last one. All right, take your fingers here. We're gonna hinge forward. Remember, when you take a hip hinge, it is as close to a 90-degree angle at your hips as you can. If you need to bend your knees to make that happen, that's fine. If you're comfortable keeping them straight, that's okay too. We just wanna get some fold in those hips. So just fold forward. And then as you come up, stand nice and tall. Lift up through the front, engage through the back as you stand. This is mobility, but we want to feel the action that brings us into the position we're moving into. Yeah, stretch in the front and then fold. Good morning, Tracy and Indigo. I see you. Thank you for being here in the imperfect land. Okay. All the way up. Will we do one more of these? They're starting to feel good, yeah? All the way over. And all the way up. All right, good. Come back to center. We're just gonna march as quickly or as slowly as you can, but I want you to try to get your knee up as high as you can. So we just moved our pelvis towards our thigh bone in our hip hinge, and now we're moving our thigh bone towards the pelvis, but also towards the torso, yeah? Just getting that nice, warm hip motion. Good. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Open up again. Maybe not as wide as we did at the beginning. bend your knees. We're gonna do some hip circles. I want you to imagine that you're standing in a cylinder and you're just gonna scrape the sides of your cylinder with your front, back, and sides of your pelvis. So let's start over to your right. So shift your hips to the right, press them forward, shift them to the left, and then reach them way back. Feel free again to bend your knees and just find that circle. Most of it is being felt and moved in your pelvis, but of course your knees and your torso are moving as well. Yeah. Just try to feel in that 3-dimensional plane. Oh, by the way, I do have a stretching strap for us to do a little hip stretching at the end, and I do have an elastic loop. Everything's crazy today. I do have an elastic loop for us. If you don't have one of these, you'll be fine. We're just gonna do a little outer thigh work. Let's reverse, taking it around. All the body movement, body weighted movement is actually the most important. Good. Couple more like this. Let's go one more. Hopefully you're feeling a little warmer. All right, we're gonna do one more, maybe 2 more little warm-up exercises. So take your arms out to the side. You can hold on to something for balance if you need to. We're gonna just do these little hip openers. So you're gonna bring your knee across out to the side and back to center, and then go side to side. Good. We're just getting a little external rotation here. And then we'll warm up our spine, and then we'll be off to the races for really juicy, happy hips. I'm excited. My hips are not sad today, but they're not necessarily at the happiness level that I desire to be at, you know? Good. One more. All right, good. So let's stand. I'm gonna put my stuff off to the side here. Let's stand with our feet hip width distance apart. We're gonna do some standing cat-cows to start to move the pelvis. So bend your knees, take your hands on your knees, and starting in a flat back. And then starting from your pelvis, curl your tail under, round your spine here, and just feel the stretch of your back. And then tilt your hips, lift your chest, look up to the sky. And do it again, rounding. And extending. And again, we have some little lyrical movement and music today to get us going. Hopefully it feels good to you. Sometimes we gotta shake off the morning commute, right? Let's go one more into that arch. Good. Now we're gonna do a little circle of the spine. So similar to our hip circles, we're gonna round up and think about drawing a circle like if you had a tail that was like a paintbrush. Go with me on this. You're gonna just do a little rounding and see if you can get your spine involved in it. You really can't do this wrong as long as it feels juicy. One might say, I am no twerker. I've tried. My son says I'm cringe. You might say it's similar to a dance move. Let's go the other way. Hopefully in the privacy of your own home, you're fine. You can be as bad a dancer as you want in your home. And really, are there any bad dancers? I don't know. As long as you're dancing and joyful, I think you're fine. It is like 80 degrees in Chicago today. It's so crazy. All right, roll up through the spine. Take your right foot forward. Press back through your left heel. Tilt your hips under. And then take your same arm to the front leg and then reach your other arm up to the sky. Take a little diagonal reach so you're finding that stretch up through your torso. You want to think about your tailbone. Tuck in under just a little bit. Lots of length in the front. Good. All right, come back to center. Press down. We're going to take the hands to your chest like so. Keep that balance and then rotate towards your front leg. Good. Sometimes if you lift that front arm up, you can get a little more stretch right here. Good. Come back to center. Bring it back. Push into that front foot. Do it again, and come all the way back to center. Good. All right, let's take the other foot forward. Woo, come on. Find that balance. Takes a minute, it's okay. Take that same arm as front leg, reach up, and then a big reach to the diagonal. I'm not really trying to bend down necessarily. I'm more reaching up towards the ceiling. Y'all will let me know if I have a speaker over here that's giving me some feedback. If it's hard to hear me, let me know. Good. Come on, all the way back to center. Hands to your chest. Rotate. And maybe even lift that arm up, up, up. Good. Nice and strong. Yeah. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad this feels good. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'll send some of the heat. I don't know if you want it though. You know, come on back. It's one thing when you have you've made your way into fall and you're got the sweaters out, and then that last punch of summer comes in. It's just it's a lot. This morning I was dressed like this at the park, and there was a lady who was full puffer jacket and snow cap, and I'm like, you're not cold. You're not cold. You're not cold at all, in fact. All right, we're gonna do one more thing. I wanna show it to you from the front. It's a little single leg deadlift, but we're gonna start to power up our glutes a little bit. So it is a hip hinge. We want let's take our left foot forward, and then your right foot is gonna be just off the back of your heel. And if you need a little more space for balance, please do that. So I'm gonna face this way. So we got that toe just off the back of the heel, as close as you can. And then we're gonna bend that right knee. We're gonna lean forward, hinge forward, reach for the ground. You wanna feel a stretch along your hip. As you come back up, press that hip open. So I have more weight on my front foot than I do on my back foot. And if this isn't working for you, just place your feet narrow side by side and just do a hip hinge with both legs, okay? So this just puts a little more connection and condition on our hip. Yeah. So we're hinging forward. You want to feel the stretch. Go till you feel the stretch. Keep your back flat, and then drive your hip forward and through. Good. We've done a lot of these on the Rebounder where we have you lift your leg at the top. But right now, let's just make it about that standing hip. I've got a tiny little bend in my leg. Nothing too extreme. Whew. All right, we're dropping in. The chaos always leads to calm at some point, doesn't it? I promise you, I always have the best laid plans, but life happens. Good. This is it's the lie that these perfect ideals tell us about wellness and health and being a good human and all the things. It's people say that you do all these things and then you can avoid negative experiences or negative feelings, and it's no, that's not it. Actually, let's switch sides. You do all these things so you can better navigate through negative experiences. It's a given. It's what our life is. There's no way I could control the traffic this morning. Let's reach. So what I did was I did some breathing. And that's something I could do. Good. So find that flat back. Look for the stretch at the bottom. Push down through that front foot to come up. Just working the mechanics. And don't worry if you're not going down super low. The goal isn't to, go down as low as me. It's to find your own stretch. So I happen to have to go low to find it because I overstretched everything when I was young. Good. But now I gotta go down to find it somewhere in there. It's usually lower than I want to go. Let's go 2 more times. That's so funny. This song is the clean version, but the song is called the universe is a B word. And I always laugh at that because, you know, look, I've been to enough seminars with toxic positivity raging, and you know what happens to those people? They get really disappointed when things don't turn out as planned. I personally would rather just roll with the punches and come up dancing on the other side of them, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's make our way down onto our knees and hands. Whoa. All right, take your hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. We want to flat back here, and then I'm gonna shift over a little bit. We're gonna shift one leg out. Ideally, it's in line with your hip and pelvis. If it has to be back here, that's okay, but the more you can fold to get it up here, right in that crease, the better stretch it'll be for you. We're gonna walk our hands forward a little bit, and then shift and glide your hips back to your heel. Oh, I just want to stay here for one breath, and then we're gonna glide forward and back. So push through your shin. You can go all the way open to your other hip if you want, and then go back this way. Yeah, nice and easy. You want to try to find the most fluid pathway possible. If you can go back hip to heel, wonderful. If it's not there for you, go back to where you can go to with confidence, with a sense of accomplishment, you know, with that sense of like, okay, things are moving, juices are flowing, we're starting to get someplace, yeah? Good. Let's go two more. Last one. Reach it back. Reach it forward. Shift out of it. And then bring your other leg forward as far as you can. Just kind of nestle it in there. We're going to drop our hips down. Try to get a little stretch along the front of your back hip flexor. Again, just let gravity help you here. And then with your front foot, let's shift the weight to the outer edge of the foot so your knee is pointing to the outside edge of the mat, and that should help you get a little more stretch on your outer thigh and inner thigh. All those things. Good. All right. Let's wiggle our way back. We're gonna do one more thing. You know what, we'll do that one after. Let's switch sides. It'll feel better after we've done both. I was trying to keep it clean, but we need the other side to be stretched. All right, put that heel out. Let's shift it back. Stay for a breath if you like. And then just make the choice on the cadence for you to move forward and back. I'm trying to think of my sits bones really like if you had a little laser beam coming out of your pelvis. I don't know why you would. You would shoot those lasers back beyond your heel. Ooh, it's a little tight there today. I am always so grateful to have these classes because it does get challenging teaching, and I try to do my own things always, but lately it's been a lot more on the rehab end. So being able to come in and do these things is really nice for us all, I think. All right, press into your shin, come on up. Let's sneak the other foot forward and then drop it down and find that stretch just as low as you're able to go. Yeah, it's hard. I appreciate you saying that, Tracy, because it's hard to get in. Like, I don't like doing this for myself. I love doing it for you, and I get it by proxy, right? But all of these stretches they're gonna challenge you. So, you know, let's roll to the outer edge of the front foot if you haven't done so already. The challenge is to find a lengthened position of your muscles in the end range. And just, you know, we don't always play in the end range. And the only, you know, limitation here is like if you have pain or discomfort or it feels like your brain is saying after you've tried it, then, you know, that's a good time to be like, you know what, maybe this isn't the exercise for me today. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is a challenging one, but I hope it's gonna feel good for all of us. So what we wanna do is we wanna take one foot and bring it forward like so, and the other leg is back. So we're kind of standing in a triangle. Now, if you, I don't have a yoga block nearby, but if you needed a block or something to sit on, or you wanted to sit in a chair and like sit in the couch and put it like this, that'll work. The changing of levels is definitely going to make a difference. I see a block. Let me show you what I mean with that. I got so much stuff in this studio all over the place, but this is a pretty big block. But you could kind of sit here to get the gist of it and be a little more supported. So that's an option for you, or sit in a chair, or you could always go on your back and do a figure four. This one's for your back, however. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. Bye-bye. And so we wanna have our hands here, so that front leg is turned out. And then what we're gonna do is sit and reaching your hip down and your arm across. And then you're gonna push through your hands and push through your leg to come up. So we're simultaneously stretching your hip and your side of your back. I'm not sure if this is the best angle to show it at, but let's see if we can get another one in. So we're here, we shift back, and we reach over. And then push down to come up, and do it again. Again, if this one isn't for you today, I just wanted to kind of add it in because sometimes your hips and your back get into that connection point. I know there's a certain amount of flexibility required to get here. Let's go one more. Reach it, shift it. Good. All right, so now I'm just gonna bring both my legs forward. We'll walk over to the other side. I'm gonna send one knee forward, hands kind of parallel to my shin, and then slide back. The first one's always the hardest. And then come up. Oh, good. And again, like everybody's stretching and flexibility is a little different. So if one of these doesn't work for you and you know something that does, I would much rather you go to the one that works for you, you know? Let's go. Just a couple more. And last one. All right, let's sit down. Reach your legs forward. If you have a strap nearby, we can use that strap really nicely here. We'll just loop it around the bottom of our feet. I like to put it in the ball of my feet so I can get a little calf stretch as well. So we did a standing hip hinge, yeah? And now we're gonna do a seated one. For many of us, like just getting up into a point where we're seated tall is gonna be a challenge here. So I want you to think about that hip fold right here and see if you can really actively squeeze as if you're holding on to a pencil in the crease of your hip and between your thigh. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. Lengthen your spine 2 inches if you can, or the closest you can get to that. Bend your elbows and lean forward with a flat back. Now, for some of us, it's gonna be a lot of calf. For some of us, it's gonna be a lot of hamstring. Sometimes it's something different altogether. Just breathe here for me and for you. Good, we're gonna come back up. Lift and lengthen. Hinge forward. Good. I hate these, and I need them. Reach. Good. Let's go one more. Lift and lengthen, hinge forward, and then if you want to round over, you can. Think about from the tailbone through the crown of your head, reaching. Just breathe here. Good, roll all the way up through the spine. Let's take this band off. We'll use it again in a minute. We are gonna use either an elastic. This is just a cloth elastic, and in all of the episode show, what do we say, class notes, all of the description. There's a link to my Amazon shop. Everything that I use is in there. So if you need something and you want to know where to find it, just look under fitness and wellness tools. There's all little libraries that are set up. I've got some walking things, I've got some plant accessories, lots of different things. So if you're ever wanting to engage into your home gym, I've got some good fun things to do so. So we've got the band around our upper thighs above the knees. We're gonna come down onto our side. We wanna feel like our hips are stacked as best we can. And then we're gonna press upward. Now, we're not doing a clamshell, so not opening the knees, but lifting the whole leg up to the side. I wanna think of my heel even a little higher than my knee, and then coming down here. So I'm gonna press it up and lower it down. Press it up and lower it down. And sometimes if you feel a little too much around your waist or your back, you can really reach out through that top hip to stack it a bit more accurately, and it will help you. Yeah. Good. So all in all, I generally right now, because I'm trying to rehab my whole leg to better support my foot condition. For those of you who don't know, I got diagnosed with something called Lederhose's disease, where I have these little benign tumors that grow on the bottom of my feet, and they cause a lot of pain. I can't see them, some people can, but the idea is to have as much support for my hips and legs so that I don't have any undue stress on those feet. But anyway, I'm doing about 30 of these per day. So we're not gonna do that many per day, but we are gonna do one more, but just to give you an idea. And oftentimes you can work like 2 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 10. You wanna feel it, but not so much that you can't walk afterwards, you know? All right, one more exercise here. Flexion and extension of the hip. So let's lift the leg up just to put a little tension on. If you're not using a band, you just lift it up to hip height. You're gonna knee into your chest, which should help stretch, and then press back through your hamstring. Now, what I like about the cloth bands in comparison to the elastic, I don't mind them, but or the TheraBand, is that they have a little kind of rubber non-stick or stick. It's non-slip, that's what it is, non-skid, skidless. I don't know. They stay on. That's what I like about these. They don't slide. What do you call that? Sticky? Oh my God, I'm losing it. Stay tuned for my downfall. Let's go 4 more. It might actually be happening. Good. Oh, I know exactly what's going on with me, and I'll tell you what it is after we do this last one. Good. All right, bring it back together. Come on up. Other side. What's going on with me is I'm in the midst of like a vulnerability hangover. Don't like these. I know, I don't know, not all of the stretches. Yeah, I don't like them either. I'm glad for the solidarity, Tracy, I appreciate it. All right, so stack those hips and then let's lift. So I'm in the midst of this vulnerability thing where I have filmed all of these cooking videos that are fine, but I'm not a trained cook. I'm just an in-home cook, a curious cook, somebody who's trying to make healthy meals. And for whatever reason, this one is just shaking me up, like putting it out there of like the way I do things just feels dangerous, like somebody's gonna come in and be like, that's not what you do. And I'm like trying, you know, extending my skills on camera into a new space. And some of these videos that I filmed, they're fun, they're funny, they're super fun. You know, we're all making things. For some people it's gonna be new, for other people it's gonna be a different spin on a favorite. But it feels like very scary to my brain to be like, hey, like it's, you know, when you do something new. 2 more. Sometimes your imposter shows up and be like, oh, what do you think, you're a cook now? Relax. She's so mean, that imposter. All right, bring it up, front and back. So what I do is I just continue to remind her that I know why she's here, but everything is fine. She's not working with all the information she needs. I know she's trying to keep me safe, but her fear is an inaccurate representation of what's actually happening right now, which is when you extend yourself and expand your skill sets and put yourself out there, you ultimately grow in great ways, even though it's scary. I wish we could skip over the scary part though. 4, this is scary right now. 2 and 1. All right, that's enough of those today, right? Flip those bands away. Let's get your strap, your towel, your belt, wherever it is. Where is it? Oh, there it is. All right, come on to your back. We're gonna do a little 3-way hip stretch. So we'll put that strap across your leg. Let's start with your knee bent, and you can just pull that leg back into a hamstring stretch, just getting the back of your hip. Releasing. And again, watching the clock. We've got a couple more minutes left. I gotta go to PT after this. I'm gonna be primed and ready. Someday I'll be done with physical therapy. That's the challenge of having a condition and not an injury, you know? It's like a total different deck of cards every single day. All right, release. Let's try to straighten the bottom leg down a bit, and you can release out of the stretch of the top leg. Take it in your opposite hand. Keep both hips down and just cross over. And then scream after we just work that area. Oh, good. Come on back to center. Do it again. Reach, reach, reach. Sorry, I just went someplace else. I'm back now. I just went into a padded room, soundproof room, and screamed, and then I'm back. I'm back with you right now. I feel like everybody, we used to do during the pandemic when we were in lockdown, we used to do a family scream where we would all just like get a pillow or not do a pillow, and then we'd all get in the same room and we just like scream to the top of our lungs with frustration. It was actually very therapeutic. One more time. I think we all should have a screaming room. I think it's really important to do that. Let's take it out to the side. Inner thigh stretch. We've already done a little inner thigh stretch with our hip glides at the very beginning on our knees, but this is a nice one, so we'll just hang it there for a minute. Scream at the world. Good. Push your foot into the strap to bring it back up, and then let's take the strap off and just lengthen that leg all the way down with oh man, sorry plant. I didn't mean to do it again to you. And release. Let's go the other side. Let's go ahead and bend up for the first one again. This plant is like just motoring. It's going to be a tree pretty soon. All right, folding in the hip to bring your leg back to you. I like to adopt plants from people who don't like to take care of plants, like they like the idea of them. So oftentimes I'll trade them for I'll make them a terrarium or something that is really low maintenance, or I'll give them a really beautiful fake one and I'll take their real ones. And this plant, when I got it, was just like the length of my forearm. Pew! Your girl knows what to do. If I could only figure out how to eradicate spider mites once and for all, right, Tracy? I can't stand them. I shouldn't even look at my plants right now because I'll get preoccupied. One more here. So what's everybody's plans for Halloween? Let's reach the leg down and then cross it over, taking the straps into your opposite hand. Keep your hip down. That'll give you a little more anchor to your stretch. If your hip comes up, you're stretching a little more of your spine in connection with your hip. It's not bad, it's just different, you know? And then come back to center. My son wants to go trick-or-treating, by himself. And we are in the city, so we will let him do that and we will follow behind, hide in the bushes. We will trail them. We will stay vigilant. It's all good. What he doesn't know can't hurt him, Let him have his independence, but also keep him under watch. Let's do 2 more. I think that's the definition of helicopter mom. I'm not sure. You know what? I don't care. It's just, I would like to reframe it. Let's rebrand helicopter moms into maybe just bearing witness to your child's joy. Does that work? No? Good. All right, let's take that inner thigh. Don't knock your plants off the shelf. Open it up. Hey, are your hips feeling happy? Mine are feeling quite a bit happier than they were before. We're gonna test drive them one more time. You guys are gonna be amazed, wowed at what just happened in this little half-hour stint. All right, press it all the way up. Bring your strap off. Bend both, actually let it down. I'm rushing myself. Bend both knees up. And just do a couple of just rolly bridges, rolling through your spine up and down, standing in both feet equally. Sometimes this can help to really reset and balance your hips. If you wanted more time with any of these stretches, I want to encourage you to take it. Last one. Good. Let's take our arms out to a T. Just go side to side. Remember the stretching we did last week? Kind of checking in the same way, like, are you moving easily side to side? Do you flop over? Can you let go of any resistance? Good. And then let's come all the way up. And I'm going to have you invite you to make your way up to standing with me. All right, I'm reading your comment, Tracy. So remember these scrapey hips? Whoa, do them again. Do them again. I mean, isn't that like great? Freedom in my hips. In fact, there's so much freedom that I don't want to go as fast as I was before, because now I can feel that I was doing a lot from my legs and knees before. And that's, you know, as the old saying goes, the thigh bone's connected to the knee bone, right? So everything's connected and everything's designed to help. But when you help your muscles and joints regain their mobility, oftentimes you take some stress off of the other areas like the knees, the ankles, maybe your lower back. So that's why I love working with hips, because it does kind of free up a lot of things. I mean, even your shoulders sometimes can be benefited from opening up your hips. So I hope you feel good. I feel good. I hope you feel good. Big happy Halloween. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned to next week. Again, like life is it's just a bit of an obstacle course right now, but the classes will be up by the weekend, so check them out. Share with your friends, and big love to you all. Thank you for being here. Let me look at your comments. Oh, 2 people have birthdays on Halloween. Amazing. Yeah, the cooking, we are always our worst critic. Yep. It's one of my toxic traits, and also one of the things that actually connects me to other people, because I speak about it out loud. Some people, it's funny, some people will like literally back up when I start talking about like the quiet part. They're not my people yet, maybe ever, but you know, I find that those people who respond to like actually hearing somebody's true story and what they're going to, like, y'all are my people. It's good stuff. All right, have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody. Eat the candy, it'll be fine. Eat it, have fun, savor it, eat it slow. Don't eat it so fast that you don't know what you ate, but like taste it and smell it and look at the texture and pull it apart and just have so much fun with it. All right, love you, bye.